Hi, and welcome to Book Impressions. In this episode, I will give you my impression of the book, The Stolen Kingdom by author Bethany Atazadeh. I think that's her last name. If I mispronounced it, I apologize. And it is it is 312 pages, so it's a good size book. It's designed for ages 12 and 18 years. If you're older, you might like this book. It's kind of a fantasy type book. It's in English. It was published back on August 20th of 2019, so it's been a while. And it is an Aladdin retelling, and it is Stolen Kingdom Series Book 1. From what I can see, it's Book 1 of 4, so there's 4 books in this series. So let's look at our cover. And this is a beautiful cover, and the colors are vibrant. The font style, I love it a lot. It's really nicely done. I think the image on the book is really good. If you kind of study this type of a genre under fiction for fantasy, you're going to find a lot of books that always display the woman. And there's her castle, so she is a princess of some kind. Let's see here. Publisher is Grace House Press, but I think Bethany Atazadeh, she has a YouTube channel, and I know she's self-published, so this must be her publishing company. A lot of self-published people will create their own company. It's not doing too bad as a bestseller rank, so that looks pretty good. And let's see her blurb. It says, a dainty princess and a friendly genie are replaced with a tough heroine who fights back in a magical race everyone fears in this addicting fairy tale twist on Aladdin. Princess Ari never expects to manifest a forbidden genie's gift. When she begins to hear the thoughts of those around her, she hides it to the best of her ability. But to her dismay, the gift is growing out of control. When a neighboring king tries to force her hand in marriage and steal her kingdom, discovery becomes imminent. Just one slip could cost her throne and her life. A lamp, a heist, and a genie hunter's crew of thieves are her only hope for removing this gift, and she must remove it before she's exposed or die trying. The Stolen Kingdom is a loose Aladdin retelling set in a world that humans share with mermaids, dragons, and the elusive genie. This isn't the fairy tale you remember. There's a lot being written about it. And let's see. The Stolen Kingdom is Book 1. Book 2 is called The Genie Key. Book 3 is The Curse Hunter. And Book 4 is The Enchanted Crown. And I can see their book covers right here for those number 2, 3, and 4. So they've got some beautiful book covers there as well. And it's got 389 ratings as of April of 2022. And overall, it's got a 4.4 out of 5 stars. So that's pretty good. Let's look at our 5-star headings. Okay, 5-star. Wonderful retelling. Most of us know the Aladdin story, so it's interesting. A phenomenal fairy tale retelling. Definitely recommend this book for adults too. So if you're over 18, even though it was designed for 12 to 18, this person's saying it's a good book for adults as well. It says creative retelling of a classic fairy tale. Great retelling. Engaging, satisfying start to a series. A fun, unique retelling with a great female protagonist. Amazing characters. So far, these 5 say a lot about this book. This book hooked me right away. You need this book in your life right now. Okay, well, this person definitely loved this book. So let's go back up and let's look at our 4 stars. I always say 4 stars can sometimes be 5 stars because sometimes you'll see that people like it just as much, but they just don't have it in them to give a 5 star. 4 stars. A creative spin to the Aladdin tale with hints of a larger world. Aladdin. A magical story in an engaging world. There's a lot to say. Creative Aladdin retelling. My first retelling. An Aladdin retelling invoking nostalgia while bringing fresh mythology. The world of the genie has lured me in, an intriguing tale of classic proportions and easy fun read. Creative Aladdin retelling. So you can see some of these could have gone on to be 5 stars. Let's look at 3 stars. 3 stars are usually people who can't decide whether they liked it or they didn't like it, or maybe there's something they liked or something they didn't like, and they just gave it 3 stars because they didn't think it was worth the 4 or 5, but they're not telling you it's bad. They just haven't decided opinion-wise. 3 stars. Bummer. Okay. Disappointed. Okay. Fairy tale retelling with a refreshing new plot. A family-friendly story. Entertaining Aladdin retelling. Worth the read, but had some problems. Let me read this comment. I enjoyed the first book enough to get the others in the series, so they obviously liked it enough to do that. This was my first retelling, and I have to say that for the most part I enjoyed it. There were some cliches and tropes that took away from the book. For a full review, check out Year of the Author on YouTube. Okay, well, I guess they must have decided that there were some cliches and tropes they didn't like. It says beautiful cover, but disappointing story. Fun retelling of Aladdin for all. Entertaining and fun. Nice retelling. So usually you have to wonder, sometimes you have to come over and read all these comments before you get the full feeling of why they gave it just a 3. Let's look at 2 stars. 2 stars haven't really decided one way or the other. Female characters unlikable, and there really isn't any romance. So you can almost tell, as I always say about 1 and 2 stars, sometimes this just isn't the genre or person reads it, and you can tell it in the review. So that 2 star definitely told me that. Let's look at 1 star, which is 1%. And they just didn't really say why. So that was interesting. But you can tell by looking here, if you add your 5 star and 4 stars, you're going to get 83%. And that tells you that this book is highly liked. The 3 stars being 8% and 2 stars 4 and 1 is 1%. It's not enough to say, hey, I don't get this book, because truth is, this is a very low opinion. This is all this is opinion on what people think when they read a book. So let's look at Bethany Atazadeh. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. If I'm not, I'm sorry. Let's look at her autobiography. Okay, this must be Bethany Atazadeh. I'm sorry. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. If I'm not, I really apologize to the author if you're watching this. Anyway, there's the 4 books in the series, and oh man, they are some gorgeous looking covers, I have to admit. I do not know who she had design her covers, but they are absolutely beautiful. She looks like she's got some non-fiction books. Let's look at them. Yeah, they're about writing, about how to market your book, so they're obviously directing this to authors. She has another series called Evelyn's Number and Pearl's Number. And look, she's got a kid's book called The Confident Gorgie. Okay, so she's kind of in a lot of different genres here. That's unusual to see an author stay with one name in 3 different genres. So I find that interesting. But from what I am seeing, her books are from $3.99 to $4.99, but you can buy this in a box set for $9.99. So that's an amazing savings. Instead of saying, well, I'll buy this book, and if it's good, I'll go over and buy this one. Well, that'll still be a savings to you, but your best bet would be to buy all 4 books if you really feel you could get into this kind of a book. She does have some kind of a blog. Let's read her autobiography. Bethany Atazadeh is best known for her young adult fantasy novels, the Stolen Kingdom series, which won the Best Young Adult Author 2020 Minnesota Author Project Award. She is obsessed with stories, chocolate, and her Corgi puppy Penny. Using her degree in English with a creative writing emphasis, Bethany enjoys helping other writers through her YouTube, aka AuthorTube writing channel. Like I said, she's on YouTube, so if you look up Bethany Atazadeh, you probably will find her channel. And she also listed the channel in her Patreon. Says if you want to know more about when Bethany's next book will come out, visit her website. And here's her website, where you can sign up to receive monthly emails with exciting news, updates, and book releases. She has a lot of other places you can connect with her. She has an Instagram, and of course her YouTube. You can see her on Goodreads. And let's see, she's listing all her books here individually. Because like I say, she doesn't just write fiction, she writes nonfiction too. But what I will do is I will take the Stolen Kingdom and I will place it down below in my description here, and you can come over here and click on it and come over and look at all her books if you want. As you can see, I purchased this book back on March 3rd of 2021. I have yet to read it, and I know it's been over a year. I just have such a list of books to read, and I gotta admit out loud, I struggle with series reading, because some people love series reading. But these might actually be standalone books in some ways. And the reason I say that is, number 1 is the Stolen Kingdom, an Aladdin retelling. Number 2 is the Genie Key, a Little Mermaid retelling. Number 3 is the Cursed Hunter, a Beauty and the Beast retelling. And the Enchanted Crown is a Sleeping Beauty retelling. So you can see they could be actual standalone books, just retelling of classic fairy tales that we know. So that's something to keep in mind if you come over here and decide you want to try reading this book, or even looking at the look-in feature to see if you like the quality of the author's writing. Anyway, if you like content like this and would like more content like this, I hope you will subscribe to this channel. And with all this in mind, until next time, this is Book Impressions signing off.